Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to carry something invisible that keeps them moving forward? They're not always smarter, not necessarily richer, and definitely not always working harder than everyone else. But there's a way they think, a mindset, that makes them stand back up when they fall, keep going when they doubt themselves, and somehow believe deep down that they can get through even the worst situations. Maybe you're someone who has tried to start over 100 times, but every time, there's that quiet voice in your head saying, "What if it doesn't work?" Or maybe you look confident on the outside, but inside you're constantly comparing yourself to everyone else. Here's the strange part. Most of us believe success comes from external things, luck, connections, talent. But the truth is, a huge part of success begins somewhere no one else can see, inside the mindset you wake up with every single day. This video isn't going to be another dry list of just be positive or work harder. We're going to talk about the real factors that shape a success mindset, the things that have probably been influencing you for years without you even noticing. Small experiences from childhood, words spoken by people who mattered to you, failures that still echo in your mind, and even the environment you live in every day. And if you feel stuck right now, if you feel like you're trying but something inside your head keeps holding you back, you're not alone. And maybe the problem isn't that you're not good enough. Maybe no one has ever shown you what truly builds a strong, resilient success mindset. So let's start this journey together, not with empty motivation, but with honest truths that might be a little uncomfortable, yet powerful enough to change the way you see success forever. So, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe. It helps me reach more people and keep helping them out. Alright, honest question. Have you ever stopped yourself from starting something just because a voice in your head said, "Yeah, you're probably not good enough for this"? Or worse, you assumed you'd fail before you even tried? Here's the thing. Most people think success is about skills, money, connections, or luck. But there's something much quieter, almost invisible, that sits behind every decision you make. And that is the beliefs you hold about yourself. Your personal beliefs are like invisible filters on your glasses. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as your beliefs allow you to see it. For example, if deep down you believe, "I'm not a disciplined person," what happens? Every time you try to build a new habit, before you even struggle, your mind whispers, "Why bother? You always quit anyway." Or if you believe, "I'm always behind everyone else," the moment your progress slows down, instead of being patient, you start comparing yourself to others. And comparison slowly eats away at your motivation. But here's something powerful most people don't realize. Many of the beliefs you carry today were never consciously chosen by you. They came from childhood, school, past failures, people's comments, comparisons. And over time, they quietly settled into your mind. Because you've lived with them for years, they start to feel like facts, when in reality, they're often just old stories you never questioned. So the real question becomes, if beliefs shape your success mindset so strongly, can you actually change them? Short answer, yes, but not through fake motivational quotes, through awareness. The first step is learning to notice your inner voice. That moment when you're about to take a step forward, and a quiet voice says, "You're not good enough." Instead of accepting it as truth, pause and ask yourself, is this reality or just an old belief talking? A success mindset begins right there, not by changing the world, but by changing your internal dialogue. And in the next part, we're going to talk about another factor most people underestimate. Yet it's often the difference between someone who only dreams and someone who actually moves forward. Let's be honest about something for a second. A lot of us assume successful people were born with some kind of natural confidence that we just don't have. Like they were wired from day one to move forward while we're stuck figuring things out. But the truth is, most of what we call confidence is built from small, repeated experiences, not some magical talent. Most people who look strong and certain today were once exactly where you might be right now. Full of doubt, full of questions, sometimes exhausted from trying. The difference is that they learned to start before they felt ready. They didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect version of themselves. A success mindset learns to see mistakes not as proof of failure, but as information, data, feedback, a step that shows what didn't work so the next step can be smarter. When you practice this perspective, the mental pressure drops because you're no longer trying to be perfect every single time. And then there's comparison. Our brains love it, especially when we scroll through social media and see the polished highlight reels of other people's lives. What we don't see are the behind-the-scenes moments, the unmotivated days, the failed uploads, the quiet moments when they wanted to quit too. A strong mindset shifts focus away from where they are and toward did I move even one small step today? Because small steps, repeated consistently, create massive progress over time. Success is less like a sudden explosion and more like a daily habit. And maybe the most powerful shift of all is learning to treat yourself like an ally instead of an enemy. So many people carry an inner voice that constantly says, "You're not enough." But when you start changing that voice, from criticism to guidance, something real begins to change. Because at the end of the day, the one person you live with every single moment is yourself. One thing people seriously underestimate is the environment they live in. And I'm not just talking about a city or a country. I mean the people, the content, the voices, and the daily inputs that constantly shape your thinking. A success mindset isn't built only from within, it's also shaped by what surrounds you. If your days are filled with discouraging conversations, harsh comparisons, or people who never believe you can move forward, your brain slowly starts accepting those stories as truth. The good news is that environment isn't always fixed. Even small shifts can have a massive impact. Choosing what you watch, what you listen to, or who you spend more time with can change the direction of your thoughts. The mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it grows over time. And when you start making conscious choices about what you allow in, you're actually shaping the future of your mindset. There's also something very real that doesn't get talked about enough: energy. Not the cliche motivational kind, but your actual mental and emotional energy. If you're constantly exhausted, if you never give yourself space to rest, even the best goals can start to feel heavy and unreachable. A strong mindset learns how to balance effort with self-care. Because real growth doesn't only come from pushing harder, it also comes from recovery and breathing room. And maybe the real question becomes, how do I start when I don't feel okay? Usually, the answer is simpler than we expect. You don't need a massive transformation. Sometimes all it takes is one small action that reminds you you're still moving. Even if that action is 10 minutes of focus, a short note, or a tiny step toward your goal. As those small actions repeat, your brain begins writing a new story, a story that says, "I'm still in motion." And that sense of movement, even when it's slow, becomes one of the strongest fuels for a success mindset. Because it reminds you that real change rarely starts with a giant leap. It begins with one honest, consistent step. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is the idea that successful people always feel motivated, as if they wake up every day full of energy and move forward without doubt. But reality looks very different. Most people who achieve meaningful things have experienced days of low energy, frustration, and even discouragement. The difference isn't that they always felt good. It's that they kept taking small actions even when they didn't feel perfect. A strong mindset gradually learns to rely less on motivation and more on habits. Motivation fluctuates, but habits can carry you forward even on the days you don't feel like it. When you create small systems, like setting a specific time to work, learn, or create, you're building a structure that doesn't depend entirely on your emotions in the moment. Another important piece is how harshly we judge ourselves. When productivity drops or things don't go according to plan, we often jump to the conclusion that I'm not enough. But a growth-oriented mindset learns to separate one day's performance from personal worth. A bad day, an unsuccessful project, or a wrong decision doesn't define your entire journey. When you start treating yourself with more understanding, something powerful happens. Your energy to return and continue increases. You're no longer paralyzed by the fear of mistakes. Instead, you begin to see mistakes as a natural part of learning. That's when your mindset shifts from being rigid and self-critical to being flexible and realistic, a space where growth becomes much more possible. And maybe the most important realization is this: success is rarely a straight line. Some days you feel unstoppable, and other days it feels like nothing is changing. But when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you begin to see that those small, inconsistent steps eventually build into something truly meaningful. One of the most powerful forces shaping a success mindset is the environment you live in every day. Not just the people around you, but also the content you consume, the conversations you hear, and even the words you repeat to yourself internally. We often think willpower is everything, but the truth is that environment quietly programs your beliefs. If you constantly surround yourself with messages that make you feel behind or inadequate, your subconscious slowly begins to accept that narrative. On the other hand, when you intentionally design your environment, following people who show real journeys instead of only perfect highlights, listening to perspectives that are realistic rather than empty motivation, something subtle but profound begins to change. Your mind starts understanding that growth takes time and setbacks are part of the process, not proof that you should quit. The key detail is that transformation doesn't have to be dramatic. Small adjustments, organizing your workspace, reducing distractions, limiting constant comparison, can dramatically improve your focus and mental clarity. When your brain feels a sense of structure and safety, it becomes easier to enter a state of creation and consistent effort. Your internal dialogue is also part of your environment. That voice inside saying, "You can't," or "it's too late," becomes powerful when it goes unchallenged. But when you begin to question those thoughts and respond with balanced, realistic perspectives, you're actively reshaping your mental space. A strong success mindset is not about building a perfect world around you. It's about creating a space, internally and externally, that allows progress to continue even on difficult days. A space that tolerates mistakes, encourages effort, and constantly reminds you that every small step contributes to a much larger journey. One of the most overlooked yet powerful factors in shaping a success mindset is your relationship with time. Many people either feel like they're too late or constantly rush to see immediate results. That pressure creates a mental environment where even real progress feels insignificant. Over time, this mindset drains motivation and creates unnecessary frustration. A strong success mindset views time differently. Instead of treating it as an enemy, it becomes a tool for growth. Some results may come quickly, but deeper achievements, true skill, lasting confidence, and sustainable success are built through repetition, patience, and consistent effort. A powerful mental shift happens when you stop asking, "Why is this taking so long?" and start asking, "What did I learn today?" When your focus moves from the final outcome to daily improvement, mental pressure decreases and your energy becomes more stable. This is the point where many people struggle because they expect progress to always be fast and visible. Another important realization is that managing energy is often more important than managing time. You can work long hours, but if your mental energy is exhausted, the quality of your decisions drops. A success mindset understands that rest is not laziness. It's part of the growth process. Sometimes a short break can restore focus far more than forcing yourself to push through exhaustion. Ultimately, having a healthy relationship with time means accepting that every journey has its own pace. When you truly understand this, you spend less energy comparing yourself to others and more energy building your own path. A path that may move slower at times, but becomes stronger, more authentic, and more sustainable over time. Another powerful factor that shapes a success mindset is your internal dialogue, the way you talk to yourself, especially during failure or slow progress. Many people assume confidence means always feeling positive, but a true success mindset is about knowing how to speak to yourself even when you feel discouraged. When things go wrong, most people automatically become their own harshest critic. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up" start repeating in the background. Over time, repetition turns into belief. The brain often struggles to distinguish between objective reality and repeated self-talk. So the more you repeat negative statements, the more real they begin to feel. A strong mindset doesn't rely on fake positivity. It focuses on honest reframing. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," it shifts to, "This part needs more practice." That small change redirects your focus from self-blame toward growth and improvement. Being kind to yourself doesn't mean lowering standards or avoiding responsibility. In fact, when you treat yourself with more understanding, you often become more accountable because fear of failure decreases. A success mindset understands that real progress begins when you can be both honest and supportive toward yourself at the same time. Ultimately, your internal voice can either push you forward or hold you back. The encouraging part is that this voice is trainable. By becoming aware of the words you use internally and intentionally choosing language that moves you forward, your internal dialogue can evolve into a powerful ally on your growth journey. If you've stayed with this video until now, you probably have a more realistic picture of what a success mindset actually looks like. Not a perfect, always motivated version of a person, but someone real. Someone who doubts sometimes, struggles sometimes, even feels discouraged at times, yet still finds a way to stand back up and keep moving forward. The truth is, a success mindset isn't a final destination you reach one day and keep forever. It's more like a muscle, built through small daily choices. Choosing to take one step even when you feel unmotivated. Choosing to learn instead of destroying your confidence when results don't come quickly. Choosing to focus on your own path instead of falling into unhealthy comparisons. Everything we talked about, perspective, internal dialogue, environment, habits, resilience, patience, and personal responsibility, are pieces of a larger puzzle. None of them are magical on their own, but together they slowly shape a mindset that helps you stay grounded and focused even during difficult seasons. And maybe the most important reminder is this: you don't have to be perfect to begin. You don't need to know everything. You don't have to feel confident every single day. A success mindset often starts the moment you decide to keep going despite imperfections, doubts, and exhaustion. Now take a second and think. Which part of this journey felt closest to you? Which idea sounded like it was describing your own experience? Growth looks different for everyone, and sometimes the most powerful insights come from people simply sharing their honest perspectives with each other. And if something in this video made you pause, reflect, or see your own path a little differently, maybe this is a space you'll want to come back to. A place where conversations continue, ideas grow, and different viewpoints make the journey more real and meaningful for everyone involved. I appreciate your support. Liking and subscribing to this video helps more people see it and become aware. Also, thank you for commenting your thoughts below.